Yes, you read that right. I have a literal entire Elden Ring Nightreign mastery tracker that's gonna make you a literal Night Reign god. Let's get right into it. So this entire Nightreign mastery tracker that I created was kind of for those people who, one, really love challenges, really love challenge grinding, really like just kind of being a little bit more creative and doing a bunch of other weird things. And then also for those people who kind of got bored of Nightreign from the start, but kind of still love Elden Ring, but like want more. And then also for those people who argue that like the game is just boring and dry and there's really nothing to do, and that they're tired of like not having extra content and all the rest of the kind of crap. I wanted to make it kind of just for everybody to be able to have a good time and just to really kind of push themselves to get out of their box, get out of the regular, way that they play, and to actually become legitimate masters like at this. So I feel like the more notoriety that this has, the better it will be for individuals to actually achieve certain masteries. Now, I'm not really a big person for like a lot of cloud or anything like that, but I built this so that way you guys can be able to have fun. And the more people that are having fun together, the more that this will actually make sense. I wanted this to be built as if this was literally like Call of Duty, or I guess Battlefield, like not like mastery camo challenges. Like that's really what I wanted this to be like. So I want to build it as close to that as possible while maintaining like obviously like the relativity to the Elden Ring Nightreign game itself, but making you an actual master at certain pieces. And so what do I mean by like a master? I mean like a master to me is someone who has mastered every piece of some part of a game to me. So as an example, there's multiple masteries down here that you can see. There's Nightfarer, Night Lord, Relic Mastery, and Challenge Mastery, and then Deep of Night and Mild Mastery. I'll talk about those two here later. But as far as these 4 mastery trackers here, as you can see, there are tons and tons of checkboxes because there's a lot of challenges to get done within these. So I want to break these down and on what this means today. Obviously, like if a lot of you guys probably read and can probably tell what this is. So if that's the case, the link is in the description down below. Other than that, if you have any kind of questions about this, hopefully this video kind of quickly sums that up, or you can just ask questions in the comment section down below. I am normally very good at responding to every comment as much as possible. But without further ado, let's dive into what this Elden Ring Nightreign Mastery Tracker is and how it's going to make you a full master. So first off, just to start, the Nightfarer Mastery Tracker, this one is to make you a Nightfarer Master. Now you can choose to be a specific Nightfarer Master, like you can be a Wilder Master or like a Raider Master or like a Recluse Master, or you can be a Nightfarer Master, meaning that like you have completed every last mastery challenge for all 8 Nightfarers, and you are a Nightfarer Master at that point. So that will mean that whenever, if you were to say this once again, if more people were to do this, that will mean that people will know for sure that you have 100% at every single Nightfarer Mastery challenge on this tracker. Now, this is something to me that's pretty big for like my community, because my community are pretty much like major grinders and just love to grind challenges like this and play in different ways and create different builds and all these things. So in my community, this will kind of be a big deal. But if you obviously want to join in on that, then you guys can. Obviously, we can't go and make some sort of like mastery like camos or like mastery like rewards in the actual game itself, which, hey, that would be really cool. And FromSoft, I will help you design all of that and the actual challenges. But in the meantime, this is just kind of like for your own bragging rights. And so I think like even in my Discord, maybe I'll have different roles for individuals who actually reach certain masteries. Like if there are Wilder Masters or something like that. Or maybe if you guys want, let me know in the comment section. I can, or one of you guys can create a specific Discord for individuals who are grinding the Elden Ring Nightreign Mastery. So that you can get that. Now, what does it mean to actually become a master of each individual Nightfarer? As an example, we've got Wilder here. Now with Wilder, and I'm not gonna go through every single Nightfarer, but you can understand just from Wilder how the rest of the Nightfarers go, and then I'm gonna kind of keep moving on. But I think I can break this down pretty simply. So for Wilder here, obviously as you can see, you need to complete every single chapter of the Remembrance and also defeat the Night Aspect as well in order to be considered a Wilder Master. obviously you cannot be a Wilder Master if you've not done his entire remembrance, as well as getting a win with every single chalice that he owns, that he can have. So this means you need to earn every chalice and then also use or buy every chalice and then use every chalice and get a dub with every last one. All of these, for the most part, you're going to need to get a dub with in some way, shape, or form. So same with the character relics. So all of his character relic specific relics, you have to get a dub with each of them at least. Now you can use multiple relics. Obviously you got up to 3 or up to 6 now that we have Deep of Night relics that you can use. So that's fine if you use them all. And the reason why Deep of Night isn't here is because there's going to be one specifically for Deep of Night. Now, then we've got garbs as well. So the skins that they use. So also you need to get a dub with every single Wilder skin. You cannot be a Wilder Master if you don't own all the skins and haven't gotten a dub with all the skins. So use and play. I know obviously like cosmetics has nothing to do with like skill or whatnot, but it at least goes to show that not only have you earned and bought it, because you need to spend the money on them. If you want to be you need to spend the money on them, right? But you've also got a dub with every last one of the skins. Max build. What is max build? Max build just means that you have built a build with +9 and then whatever attribute it is. So in this case, vigor, mind, whatever. So yes, you will need to do a +9 intelligence build with Wilder. It should be fun and challenging for you to build a build around that and make it actually conducive to you, so that way you actually go in and have fun in the game as well. So there is that. And then after that, we got primary and secondary weapons. So this is just taking the Nightfarer's specific, like most favored weapon, or like their primary like weapon that works best for them, and you needing to get a win with every weapon in that class or classes if they use multiple weapons that are kind of like their primaries. Now, not every single weapon is on here, so if you guys want a weapon mastery, let me know. But I don't think that that's something necessary, because I think I got like 90% of the weapons in all the Nightfarers. So as an example, yes, you would need to get a dub with Wilder's Greatsword, the Bastard's Greatsword, the Sacred Relic Sword. You need to get and find and be him as you're playing, be Wilder as you find the Sacred Relic Sword and actually then use it. Obviously, in order for you to become a master, you should know how to build your build to where you go and actually get Sacred Relic Sword. I know that is RNG based, but obviously, like, okay, I'll give you a hint. As a master of Wilder, you should know, well, especially now that we have Deep of Night, I should put on the Dormant Power helps me find more great swords and some other stuff, and then also more discovery and things like that in the game, and go and hunt down the holy camps or whatever you can, in whatever way, to find the Sacred Relic Mastery, the Sacred Relic Sword. So like, these things are going to be challenging. That is very true, but you're also going to get through the weapons a lot faster than it probably looks, because you can use these weapons. Now, a very big key rule is that you 100% must use these as your primary weapons that you're actually using to get hits and kill the Night Lord. Like the actual, like throughout the game, you actually need to be using it. It cannot just be like just being used for its passive and you passively use it. It needs to be your active build. I cannot stress that enough, because you need to learn how to use the weapon, the way the weapon attacks, the weapon move sets, as well as weapon skills and all of that kind of stuff. So you need to actually do that. And now I didn't put like ×3. Like I thought about doing like get 3 wins with each weapon, but I was like, I think it's enough to just use it for the whole run or most of the run whenever you find it. And then same thing with the secondary weapons, just get used to them. And then there's also a Nightfarer weapon mastery for each specific Nightfarer, where you need to get a win with every single weapon type that you can in the game as one of your primary weapons that you are using. So that means, yes, you as Wilder would need to use a heavy thrusting sword. You as Wilder you need to use a bow, a medium shield, a sacred seal, glint soul staff. You will have to actually get a win with every last one of these, but you have to do that with you're going to have to do that with every single Nightfarer. Now, same thing with Guardian. Guardian has a lot less weapons. And then Raider, same thing with Raider. Raider is going to, same exact thing for all of them. The only difference is when it comes down to like Iron Eye, for Iron Eye, you're gonna have to use the talisman and the staves that give your weapon different armaments. So like electrified armament on a seal, or scholar's armament on a staff. You have to use that. I also put in parentheses where you can find it, staff, and then the rest of these are obviously, as you should know if you're trying to go for an Iron Eye mastery on seals. Moving down to Revenant. For Revenant, you're gonna have to use all claws, and then also you're gonna have to use every single incantation that does damage or healing or is supportive of the team in your main build. So yes, you will need to get a dub using Urgent Heal, and you actually need to be using Urgent Heal. And then same thing with Recluse, except for spells. You're gonna need to get a dub with every single spell, use every single spell on purpose, and understand how to build around it and all that kind of good stuff. So with that being said, once you have completed that, you will be considered a Nightfare Mastery if you complete all of them, or you can have your own specific individual Nightfares that you decide to complete. But once you're 100% any of these, then you will be considered a master of each of those in their own rights. Now over here, you can also see the rest of the masteries, the mastery trackers in the completion form. I'm gonna have that only on the main Nightfare Mastery Tracker page, because that's where probably most people are gonna do before they go to do all the rest of these. I think the rest of these are kind of much more for those challenge grinders who really like a challenge. Now we come here to the Night Lord Mastery Tracker. So this one is super simple. Get a kill against every Night Lord and every Everdark Night Lord in solos, duos, trios, without Evergels, with Crater, with Woods, with Mountaintops, and Naclateo each. And with every single Nightfare in order to be considered a Tricephalops, for instance, Night Lord Master, and then so on and so forth with every other Night Lord. So same exact thing, right? And if and whenever Holster becomes a Night Lord or an Everdark, then that'll go there. Now with the Relic Mastery, it's pretty self-explanatory. This Relic Mastery is actually pretty big. We got the general relics and then also the armament specific relics. Same exact thing, pretty simple here. So attributes, you're gonna need to get a kill with increased max XP on a relic and increased max FP, so on and so forth. Obviously, you're probably gonna use relics with combined versions of each of these, so you're gonna need to get that. Now again, I built this before, I built these sections before Deep of Night, so that way people who don't play or don't care to play Deep of Night can still become a master without being a depth master. So the depth mastery, I might even have to make a whole nother tracker now that I kind of think about this. Anyway, so you guys can be able to get kills with get a dub with each and every last one of these on your weapons. You should be like playing. Now, it does not matter which Nightfare you use for these. Obviously, like Lightning Slash, if you're Iron Knight, you can't use Lightning Slash. So guess what? You're going to have to master this using some other character. And then coming on all over to the right, you've got the armament specific ones. So same thing. You are going to have to get, use improved dagger attack power. Once you got that, check that off. HP restoration upon dagger attack. Once you got that, check that off. Same thing. Think with the rest of these, right? So you're gonna have to use these with every last one. Now, can you stack these while you are doing the Nightfare weapon mastery? Go right ahead. And can you stack all of these? Go right ahead. And then lastly, we get to our challenge master. Now, this, I don't expect most people who even come across this tracker, who even does this tracker, to even do the challenge mastery. So you can become a challenge master by completing all of these. So there's the level 1 run, challenge mastery. So essentially, level 1, every single Night Lord with every single freaking character, Nightfare. Now the reason why I didn't put the level 1 run on the Nightfare mastery tracker is because I believe that you can be a Nightfare master without playing and doing it only level 1. If you want to be a level 1 master, then do it with all the freaking Nightfares and all this. Can I do it? No. This is for you guys, not for me. And then keep on going. We got no hit Night Lord run. Pretty simple. Don't get hit on the Night Lord fight. Playing the game doesn't matter, but just don't get hit during the Night Lord fight. Bare fists only, so just no weapons, just your fists. In the bare fists only, we did not use passives. So when we did ours, we didn't use passives. So don't have any weapons at all in your inventory. It just you can stack relic stuff. And then double Nightfare, so basically just Wilder, Guardian, right? And then also triple, so Wilder, Guardian. Boss only run, so the boss only run means that The only things and enemies, the only enemies you can hit are bosses, and then obviously, like at each night, you have to kill the mobs at the night time in order to continue to progress the day. So you can kill them. But other than that, bosses only. The bosses are considered any individuals who drop anything. Any individuals who have a dormant power reward drop when you kill them is considered a boss. So the bosses at the ruins, bosses at the Great Cathedral, all of them are considered bosses, but you cannot kill any of the mobs at all. So yes, that means if you go and you got one of the poison camps and you got the freaking page there, the page is not the boss. Only the freaking the perfumer is the boss. Also, the other part of that is the only drops that you can get, the only thing you can pick up has to come from bosses. You cannot loot any crates, chests, boxes, or anything else. Nothing, not even the churches. You can own what you get has to only come from bosses. And then vice versa is the no boss run. So you cannot hit any bosses, obviously, other than the night boss to progress the days, so you can continue on the gameplay. But other than that, no bosses, no drops from any bosses, no dormant powers at all. And then also, that also includes Evergels. By the way, Evergels are also considered bosses. So no Evergels and the no boss run. Now, with this, everything's opposite when it comes to looting. You can only loot by getting, or you can only get items by looting. That's it. Nothing else, no bosses, no dormant powers, none of that crap. So that means you can loot the churches, you can loot crates and all the rest of that stuff. The one box or the gun game challenge, this is, you only get to use one weapon, that's it. Now, if you're dual wielding, if you're gonna dual wield weapons, you can dual wield 2 weapons. So if you're gonna have 2 armament, you can do that. If you get a weapon drop, or if you get a dormant power drop from a reward boss, you have to open it, 1, you have to open it, 2, you have to pick up the first weapon. If there's multiple weapons and a dormant power drop, you have to pick up the first weapon and you have to use that. If you're using 2 weapons to dual wield weapons, then you have to shift your weapons out. So the weapon that's at the top of your inventory and the bottom, those 2 weapons on the top and bottom of your inventory, they just rotate. So the top weapon goes down to the second line and the new weapon goes into the first, and now you use those weapons continually up until the end of the match. If you find or loot a chest or box, or if you open it up, the first box you open up is the first weapon that comes out, that's the first one you pick. Not really your choice, but it's much more your choice, obviously, because like you have to just grab something and go. And you have to get the win with that. So have fun with that one. We did that. It was a fun game. We had some crazy fun builds, but it was also kind of crazy. And then we've got the Shifting Earth Masteries. So Crater Day 1, meaning you have to defeat the Magma Worm and get the reward and make it out alive without dying to the storm. Then you also got Rotted Woods Day 1. Rotted Woods Day 1 is completing at least 4 out of 6 bosses and getting the reward and getting out alive. Can you die within it? Yes, you can die, but as long as you can die while you're in the challenge, or while you're in there fighting. But if the night rain starts to close and you got the 4 out of 6 bosses and the reward, and then it closes, but you die and your runes or whatever is left in the Rotted Woods, then you do not complete it. So you have to get it day 1, period. Mountaintops Day 1, Ice Dragon and the reward, pretty simple. I just explained that as well. And then Naclateo Day 1, Estelle and the reward as well. To be honest with you, I think the hardest one is going to be the Ice Dragon, because you got like no health, no flasks. So good luck on that one. I have not done that one yet, but I have done the other 3, just not Mountaintops Day 1. With all this being said, if you complete all 4 of these and 100% all of them, you will be considered a Nightrerign Master. Just by the 4 of these. You cannot use mods at all for any of these 4 runs whatsoever, or the Deep of Night either. I've been looking into creating a mod mastery. I'm not too sure just yet how I want to do that, because I haven't played with mods much in Elden Ring Nightrerign. But you cannot use mods with the rest of these. This has to be just clean base game. That's it. You can use the Deep of Night to help you out and to assist you with this, but it will not count as the Deep of Night Mastery until like I eventually create the Deep of Night Mastery. And if one of you guys want to make a Deeper Night Mastery, hey, let me know. I'll give you the tools to do it. So the Deeper Night Mastery will likely just be an addition of the extra stuff to the Night Lords, some of the relics as well, and then a level of challenges for the base, for the depth as well, and then like a certain amount of like obviously like reach depth 5. Do this in depth 5, do this in depth 3, do this in depth whatever. So I'm trying to make it a little bit more than just this, because I feel like if you are a wilder master in the base mode, you're a wilder master, but now what can we have a wilder do in the depth that now makes you a depth master? Like that's what I'm trying to like figure out and do. But I haven't even fucking made it to goddamn depth 5. Fuck this game. So with this being said, if you guys are excited about this, I love your feedback in the comment section down below. Definitely share this with whomever you guys want to. I share it with everybody. Yeah, I mean, like obviously it has my face right there, and that's because I have a YouTube channel, right? I've got a business to run and to build and grow. So sub to the channel. If you're not sub to the channel, if this is your very first time seeing me, hi, welcome. Stick around. But anyway, with this, share this with everybody so that way the more like people can do this and play it together, you guys can be able to have a good time with it, because as a community, this becomes much better if everybody or as many people know about this as possible. Then you can actually share your stats. I feel like I mean, to be honest with you, like you can't be carried through this, right? You cannot be carried through this. You can be carried through the depth. I mean, you can. So to me, your depth level doesn't mean shit because people get carried through that shit all the time. I've carried a lot of people. Like, carried a lot of goddamn people in the goddamn depths and fucking moving them all the way up. So this I will trust of you being a master much more than the depths. However, I hope you guys have fun with this. This is in the description down below. Just make a copy, you'll be able to see it. But have a beautiful goddamn day, and I will see you guys tomorrow probably. All right, take care guys, bye.